Hi guys, I'm back. So I still have a few minutes before I get home. Look at my bracelets. My daughters, my 3 girls made these bracelets for me, so I have no option but to wear them. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. So I'm still talking about being sent back home or being deported, because it's there, it's all over the news everywhere, and it's not only people from Mexico who are gonna go home, it's everybody who they feel that should not be here. So how do you cope? Because you gotta have to have a coping mechanism, because I'm telling you, if you're caught and you are shipped back home, they don't even ask you for fare. I was watching news the other day. I like to watch news. I know some people don't like watching news, but me, I watch the news. And I like to watch the news. I like to watch the side that supports Trump and the side that doesn't support Trump, so that I can weigh and see what's going on. So you find that you can find yourself in a situation that you have been arrested and you are going to be sent back home. The first thing that's gonna catch you is depression, because believe me, you're gonna be depressed. Because here in the US is very different, my friend. Like, for example, I go to work with my car. I do not walk to work. I go to work with my car. Number 2, if you do not live in a state like this one, which is a little bit like in the village, I call this the village. You live in big towns like New York or whatever, you go with a train. You go through the subway. So that's a different kind of thing. You're used to waking up, the lights do not go away. The lights just go when it's a very, very, very bad weather, or maybe there's a tragedy or whatever. That's when the lights go away. And if maybe there's an outage, there's gonna be, the lights are going away or anything, you find that they tell you that from this time to this time, you're not gonna have power. And it doesn't last long. I'm telling you, it doesn't last long. Another thing, during winter, even if you have a bill, they are not going to cut your electricity like they would. They can't. But they wait until this winter is gone, and if you have a bill, they will cut your lights off. So that's another thing. You're used to lights. When we went to Kenya last year, you find that sometimes the lights would go, and then it was so dark, and my kids were like, "Mommy, it's so dark, we can't even see anything." It was so dark. So you find that just the simple things, even a simple thing like even walking through a drive-through and buying coffee or having a drink, or even a bottle of water like this one, I'm telling you, like, it's readily available. You can go and buy in a vending machine or whatever. You find that those things, you're not gonna see them, because it's good to talk about reality, guys. And if we don't talk about reality, then we are not helping ourselves, because you might find yourself that you have been deported. What are you gonna do? If I was taken back home today, the first thing I would do is, first of all, go and find a counselor. That's the first thing that I would do, guys, because I think I would go crazy. Because where do you start? And I hope and pray that if you are caught in that situation, you have something that you have hidden for yourself. You have saved, or maybe you have invested. God forbid if you haven't invested, and God forbid if you invested or you sent money home, and the people you sent money to invest for you, because you knew that you were here in the US with one leg inside and the other one was outside because you didn't have the right documentation, and you find that those people embezzled your money and they did not do anything for you, then I don't know. I can't even fathom. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine, because that's another level of depression that's gonna get to you, because you find that I've seen people. I watched a clip one time about a guy who had been in the UK. He had been in the UK for 35 years. And he used to send money to his brother. He only had one brother. Actually, he didn't even have parents. He used to send money to his brother so that he could invest, so that by the time he left UK, I'm not even talking about America, I'm talking about Britain, that he could have something to go to. But I'm telling you, when he went, he only found, at least he had, the brother had bought a small, no, actually the land was inherited. He had only built a house for himself and his wife. But he used to take pictures of apartments and send it to his brother, showing him that they had invested. I'm telling you, that person, he almost killed that guy. They had to go to court. I didn't follow up. I didn't see the follow-up of that case. But it was so bad. I've also seen another woman who had, I think she was from Nigeria. She was sending money for a building to be built. And then she found that the building had been started, but it was just the frame of the building, and that was it. And she had sent a lot of money. So I just pray that you're not going to be in that situation when you go back. Because if you're in that situation, I don't know. I don't even know how I can say. Because people go into depression. But if you have invested, it's going to be better. If you have invested, if you have a place to go forward to, you have a house, even it doesn't matter even if it's a wooden house, it does not matter. Or you have a small piece of land, then it's better that you have a place to start. Because I'm telling you, the moment you go back home, and those people back home see that you're not, because we always help, we always send money, even if it's not even if it's not going to be appreciated, we always send money home, and we will always do, because we are Africans, and that's the African way, money home. But what am I saying? I'm saying when you go and the people who you have been helping realize that the money that you are sending them is not there anymore. They are not going to take you the way they were taking you earlier. No, they will not. So you have to have a plan. You have to start thinking, this is the little that I have invested. If I am taken back home right now, where do I start? You have to start. You have to have a plan, guys. Because if you don't have a plan, you will end up going and you won't even last another 5 years. I'm telling you, you're not going to last for another 5 years. The other thing that I am so worried about is the kids. Oh my gosh. Or like I look at my kids. My kids, they were able to adapt very well when we went to Kenya. But after we had stayed, because we stayed for a whole month, they started telling me that they wanted to go back home. I do remember. Even my youngest was like, Mommy, when are we going back to our home? Because they got tired. So you can imagine these kids have been born here. And the first thing that they saw was their house had a fridge, there was a TV, there was everything. And then you go to the village, my kids were telling me that the TV is so small. They go to the village and sometimes they don't even have that TV or whatever. Those kids are going to be, I feel bad for the kids. Adults can adapt, but I'm telling you, children, it's going to be so hard for those kids. So I need you guys to have a plan. If you're still able to do whatever that you do, start having something, saving something. I think I would carry my money in my pocket. Although I don't know if they let someone take money. I don't know how they do. I just don't know how they do. Another thing, I would maybe have someone like a next of kin or whoever. Although people don't trust people here in the US. I don't know why. I would have someone who, in case anything happened, because stuff can happen, they would be able to get my stuff, they would be able to get what I have, or what I have, maybe what I have saved, and send it to me. I would do that, guys, because you never know. We are living in very hard times. We are living in times that we do not know what's going to happen. It's starting to rain, so very soon it's going to be spraying. This is January 31st. So guys, prepare your heart, prepare your mind, and prepare your soul. Because you can find yourself in that situation whereby you are being sent home. Please be prepared. It's like I talk about green card and I tell people, you have applied for the green card, yes. Be prepared that you can either win the green card or lose it. Have that preparation. Because if you're prepared of winning the green card or losing the green card, then you are not going to be depressed when you don't win it. The same thing. I know it's going to be hard even to adapt or even to get used to, but what I can say is start preparing your heart. Because if you don't prepare your heart, you will find yourself in a situation whereby I can't even explain. You will either go crazy, or you will have ulcers, or you will have a heart attack or something, and you will end up, or maybe you'll end up in drugs. There was this girl who they used to tell us to contribute some money. I don't know if she finished her rehab, and she used to be here. She stayed here for a very long time, and she ended being deported. And she was living, actually she was homeless. So that is not what I would pray for those people. What I would pray is that if anything like that happens, guys, please have your heart prepared. That's what I can say. Have your heart prepared so that if anything like that happens, you will be able to cope. We're gonna look for a way to cope, guys. Because if you're not able to cope, then you will not able to be able to move on. Because you can say, okay, it's over, then I go back home. There are so many, you can even go to the Middle East. I've seen people advertising that they are taking people to the Middle East. You can, it's not going to be the dollar, but still it's going to be more than what you're going to make in Kenya, because Kenya right now is so bad. It's no joke. There is so many problems in Kenya that it is really bad. So what I can say is be prepared, guys. Prepare your heart. Just be there. Don't be in denial. I know you will go through all those stages of grief, but tell your heart that whatever happens, I will overcome. That's what I can say, because it's a hard thing. I'm telling you, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. But since it is what it is, and we have to talk about it, guys, you're going to have to be ready. You're going to have to prepare your heart, to prepare your mind, to prepare your body, and even to prepare your people back home. Because I know there are some people who have never told whether they have papers or not. Tell them that in anything, I could be coming home anytime. So that even them, they know that anything can happen. You're going to have to tell them. You're going to have to tell your children. You have to do all that, guys. So that is what I want to tell you this morning before I get home. That be prepared, and the more you prepare your heart, the more it's not going to be very hard. It's still going to be hard, but if you have prepared yourself and you have accepted that that is the fate, then you will be fine. Because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. But all I can do is to pray for you guys, and to hope that God intervenes. Here is where we say that we are praying for God's intervention, because other than God's intervention, we don't know what else to do. We don't know what else to do. So guys, I wish you all the best. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. I'm gonna get into the house, take a shower, eat my breakfast, and try and rest, because I have to go to work tonight. So thank you guys for always supporting my YouTube channel. God bless you, and I will see you in another video.